Today we are making two easel cards that are cards that can be set up nicely on display and can be admired appropriately. One is a little bit more complex and has a hidden pocket for a gift card. The second is a little bit simpler. I used the latest Tonic Craft Kit number 78 called Gem Pot, which includes all the dies and stamps for the cards, as well as the materials like paper or Nuvo drops, and many other things. Of course, you don't necessarily have to have this craft kit. I hope that you will also find some tips and tricks in the video on how you can make an easel card with dies from your stash. My name is Julia and I'm an enthusiastic card maker and paper crafter from Austria. Welcome to my channel, Julie's Kreativschatzkiste. I have a subscription to the Tonic Craft Kits and I really love them. Every month you get a box with loads of great goodies, and with the latest Tonic Craft Kit you can make this gem pot. You not only get the dies for constructing the gem pot, but as well further dies and stamps to embellish the gem pot. Then of course there is the paper included in the kit and some Nuvo drops and other goodies. You can construct this gem pot with a gift card holder or without. And of course there are instructions included. In this video I will show you both alternatives. And as I said, I will make both cards into easel cards to put them on display. Today I'm using the paper that was included in the Tonic Craft Kit for the construction of the card. I'll quickly browse through it, but of course you can use any paper you like. I'm now starting with a slightly more complex card, with a hidden pocket for a gift card. And in preparation I have already cut out some of the parts. There's this basic form, which I cut out in pink. And then I have this layer with a nice pattern in it, for which you need two dies, the verso die and the outer cutting edge die. Additionally, I have cut out this label, and I used another die to cut stripes into it. And finally I cut out a circle and everything for my sentiment, which is a thanks very much, perfectly matching to the strawberries in the card. I simply glued all these parts together on top of each other with liquid glue, so I already have most of the card front done for this first card. In the next step I'm constructing my gift card pocket. According to the instruction, you need to cut out this die 9 times. Of course it depends on the thickness of the paper, but the frame must be thick enough so that the gift card moves up and down freely and easily. I simply glued these parts together with liquid glue again. As my gem pot is actually pink, I used the Nuvo chalk mousse and the blending brush, which are included in the kit, to color the edge of my pocket in pink. The next step I'm constructing my gift card holder. I need these 2 dies cut out here, and I cut out the larger one twice so that I can make it stronger and sturdier. You don't have to, but if you reinforce this gift card holder, you may also have to adjust the frame width in the step before. This small gift card holder has 2 fold lines very close to each other. So for burnishing them really well, I recommend using something like a metal ruler and your bone folder. The better burnished these fold lines are, the easier the gift card moves up and down in your pocket. Now you can either glue this pocket directly on top of the bigger paper, or you can do it as I do it here. I put the glue on the bottom of the flaps on the gift card holder, and then I attach it to the back side of the big paper and put the other cut out paper on top of it. This way the gift card holder is better secured. When attaching the gift card holder, make sure that you use the correct fold line, which is the outer one of the 2 fold lines that are close to each other, so that the gift card has the space in the compartment. As you will see later, you can see a bit of the back of the gem pot in the easel card, so I cut out the basic shape again from pink paper and glued it on the back of my strawberry glass. For the lid of my jar and the embellishment, I used provided dies and cut them out of pink and green glitter paper. Afterwards I used liquid glue to adhere them to my gift card holder. For my card base, I use a 300 GSM heavy ivory colored paper that was also included in the kit. It is an A4 paper that I simply cut in half, so it has the width of 10.5 centimeters, a normal European A6 format. Then I used my trimmer to make a fold line into this paper piece. The fold line is at exactly 14.8 centimeters of the longer side of the paper piece, which is right in the middle. And then I made another fold line in the quarter of the long side on one side. Looking at the longer side of the paper piece, the fold lines are at 14.8 centimeters and at 7.4 centimeters. I then reinforced the fold line well with my bone folder, and this is what a simple easel card would look like. However, I don't want the card background to be visible when setting it up, only the strawberry jar. So I have taken a few more steps before finishing my easel card. First I made a mark with my pencil at about the place where the lid of the jar starts. Because up to this line I want to cut my sides away from my blank card. And then I come back to the die with this basic form of the strawberry jar. And I use low-tech tape to adhere the die on my blank card. I want to make partial die cutting, so I don't want the upper edge of the die to be cut, but just the rest of the form. I do this by placing my plate in a way that it just covers the part of the die that I want to be cut, and the upper edge, which I don't want to be cut, is not below the plate. And this is what it looks like after sending it through my die cutting machine. You can see that the upper edge of the form has not been cut, but the shape of the strawberry jar precisely cut out at the bottom. With my scissors, I simply cut away the lower part of my blank part completely on both sides, so I have my easel exactly in the shape of the strawberry pot. Now it's time to make this locking mechanism, which is actually nothing more than an elevated piece of paper in some form which helps my easel to keep standing upright. I used the label die for this and I cut it out in green, and then I used the matching stamp that is also included in the kit. Because my stamp has the same size as the label I want to stamp it on, I can't use the magnets in my stamping aid to keep it in place, so I used a temporary adhesive tape to attach my paper to my stamping aid. I want to heat emboss the stamp in rose gold embossing powder, which is why I also use my anti-static powder here. Because the paper has texture in it, I stamped the stamp more than once with my embossing ink just to be sure. And then I did not only cut out the label of green paper, but also twice from white paper. So I reached this height I need that the card can actually be hooked into it and stand up on display. The different layers are simply glued together with liquid glue. But before I stick that down on my card base, I want to decorate the background of the inside of the card as long as the card is flat, because then I still can stamp nicely. I use flowers and strawberry stamps that are also included in the kit, and I stamp them in pink on the sides and on the bottom edge of the card inside. In the middle, I leave the space for my personal greeting. When placing my stamps on the card, I don't always clean them. I just use a piece of packaging and place this onto my card before placing the stamps, so I avoid getting smudges on my card base. I repeat the process of placing the stamps until the inside of my card is covered wherever you can see it from the outside. Then I also apply the same stamp pattern to the outside of the card in the area of the lid, so at the top of the card. So now finally it's time to glue my gem pot onto the card base, for which I use liquid glue. I also used liquid glue for adhering my locking label on the inside. I tested how upright my easel should stand, and that's exactly where I stick down the label. And so our first easel card with the secret gift card pocket is already finished. I think it turned out really nice. Do you like it? My second card is pretty similar to construct, but it's not quite as complex as the first one. I have already cut out the basic form of matte mirror paper, and this embellishment I did cut out of green paper. Then I cut out the strawberries and the strawberry leaves, as well as the sentiment out of red and green paper. As you can see, I also added some details with my white gel pen. For a good color balance on the card front between the red and the green, I cut out the flower in the pattern, again from red paper, and I glued it with the inlay technique to my card front. Again, I added details to the petals with my white gel pen. The card base I make in the same way as the previous card. I actually use the second half of my 300 GSM paper in ivory. As in the first card, I add one fold line at 14.8 centimeters of the longer side of the paper piece and another one at 7.5 centimeters. I reinforce this well again with my bone folder. Here I want to stick my strawberry pot directly onto the card. I don't want to cut out anything else from my card base. Then I cut out all the parts that I will need for my card construction. On one hand there are the strawberries. I cut out 8 pieces because I want to use them as this locking mechanism of the inside of the card. In addition, I also cut out some strawberry leaves. I also need the lid of my strawberry pot and the corresponding decoration, which I also cut out. Finally, I also prepared this large piece of paper that I previously used for my gift card pocket. I'm not making a gift card pocket in this case, but this paper piece is a perfect connection between the pot and the lid of the pot. An additional benefit is that the back of the strawberry pot, which will be visible as an easel card, also looks kind of nice. Of course, it doesn't cover the entire strawberry pot at the bottom, but if you don't like it, you can always cut out the basic shape of the pot again and stick it on here. Now I'm gluing all my card components together with liquid glue. I also glued together the strawberries, which have 4 layers of paper each. For the decoration of the inside of the card, I used a stamp saying "You deserve this," also included in the kit. And now it was time to attach my locking strawberries, so to say, and I made a pencil mark at which I would like my easel to stand up. And now finally I can attach my jam pot to my card base. Doing so, I have liquid glue at the bottom of the jar, as well as on the card base right below the fold line, so I'm sure that the pot is attached well to my card. We're almost finished now with the card, but I would like to add some more decorations, and for this I used 2 products, which are also included in the Tonic Kit. First, there's this Nuvo Crystal Drop Red Berry, which I distribute in dots on the card evenly, and on the other hand there's this Nuvo Crystal Glaze, which is a transparent, thick liquid that creates a beautiful enamel effect on the paper. It also dries transparent, but it makes the strawberries look really nice. I did like this effect so much that I also used the crystal glaze on the flower on the front of my other card. And that's the second card finished for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and it inspired you a little bit to make an easel card as well. Do you like making easel cards? Let me know in the comments. I would be very happy if you would leave me a comment or a like, or maybe even subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. Otherwise, I wish you a nice day. See you next time. Servus!